By now you probably know it already, but my name is Iris and I am from the admissions and recruitment team together with my colleague Marika, who you might have seen yesterday on Wednesday. She did a admissions session. This session will be recorded just as all the others that have been recorded, and I'll try to get all the recordings out to you as soon as possible, hopefully tomorrow, otherwise it will be next week. So before we start, because I do see some people are still joining, which is really lovely. How's everyone doing? So we've come to the final end of Digital UCG this week. So I know I've done this, I think, in the first session. Just put like one emoji in the chat box. No worries. Just put an emoji in the chat box. How are you feeling? How was Digital UCG for you this week? Let us know. And from where are you joining us? I think a lot of Dutchies are joining this time, which is lovely to see. But if you're from somewhere else, let us know. Let me see. So I will start with a little emoji. Can everyone hear me, by the way? I hope so. I think it's really grand to see you all here and to see so many of you during this final session. I'm really happy to see that. Oh, okay, perfect. Thumbs up. I think that's a good thing, isn't it? Austria, Netherlands. Wonderful. All right. I think we're just going to start. Oh, lovely. Luxembourg, Germany. Oh, yeah. I see some familiar faces. Oh, I love that. The US. Wonderful. All right, Gran, thanks so much for being here again. Today, this final session will be all about guidance at UCG. Ooh, another one from the US. Wonderful. And this session will be hosted by two of my lovely colleagues from Guidance. I'm really happy that they made time to be here today, which are Jaclyn and Sonia. Jaclyn is our wonderful exchange officer, and Sonia is our career and internship officer, and they are a part of the lovely Guidance team at UCG. So without further ado, I'll keep my mouth shut for a while and I'll hand the floor to Sonia.
Let me check. Can you hear us?
I'm Jaclyn. I am the exchange officer. I'm also from the US originally. I've lived in a couple different places as well, so it's nice to see everybody from different countries. So later on, I'll be talking about a bit of our exchange and academic program. But Sonia.
Hello, I'm Sonia. I'm from Spain. I have also traveled. I've lived in the US for a while. And right now I'm based in Groningen, where I hope to see some of you next year. Jaclyn and I were going to talk a little bit about what type of guidance we offer at UCG in case you decide to come and join us next year, so you know. We're gonna try to be brief and giving you some insights here and there. So please feel free to ask anything you want. Use the chat or just talk if you feel like this. And then we're gonna try, based on your questions, we're gonna try to give more detail. Okay. So here in the screen you can see the team. It's Jaclyn in the middle. It's me also on the right side, and then we have Gina and Eva and Diana who are also part of the team. We do guidance at UCG, and let me move the slide. When we talk about guidance, we are mostly talking about academic support. So how can we, the five of us, support you academically so you thrive during your years at UCG? And it also includes exchange, which is what Jaclyn will talk a little bit more afterwards, and internships. And internships are also part of what we call careers. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later on. But first, we're going to explain a bit what's the academic support that we offer. So to put it plainly, when you join UCG and you start thinking about what courses you want to do at UCG, there is no a unique path of courses, like a set of courses that we already have defined for you. But we give you a lot of freedom when it comes to choosing what courses in what fields, etc., etc. And that is very useful in a lot of fronts. But sometimes it also comes with some challenges, right? So in terms of, I want to take these courses here, can I or cannot? Does it fit my program? What's better? What's not? Should I be making this choice? Or it comes with doubts. And that's where we sit with you and try to support you in those decisions, okay? On top of that, on top of those conversations and just discussions about, how your academic program could look like, we also try to offer you support in developing yourself through workshops and through interactions with other students, through participation at activities at other faculties in the university. In addition, those are the two first points. In addition, we also provide support to all those students who have some type of special provisions, students who have disabilities that need some type of extraordinary facilities when it comes to exams and assessments, and any type of personal circumstances that might arise during your studies. We are also the main point to contact, so we can make sure that we support you, and that no matter what it is that it's going through, we can make sure that academically you are supported the way you deserve to. Sorry, I'm trying to move the slide. Okay, here we go. So this is the second point I was talking about. So when it comes to studying with personal circumstances, we are here to help you to get exam provisions, to deal with study delay, because sometimes that happens, to understand what are your options when it comes to financial support, and what are the resources that you can get when you are studying with a particular disability. Okay, we, the academic advisors, we are also the contact point between you, the student, and the board of examiners and your teachers, in case there are situations where you need some mediation to talk about a particular topic. We can also help you developing your time management skills. We can also support you in those peaks of a bit of burnout. So we try to work towards a more ideal situation where you can better control your peaks and be more autonomous in that sense as well. And that relates to study skills. So the better study skills you have, the better we will be able to prevent burnout further on. We also offer mediation, not just between you and teachers, but between students and students in the event that ends up being necessary. And we offer workshops as well in several topics related to academics and related with your well-being at UCG and in campus in general. It might be that some of you have attended this session because you are interested in exploring a little bit more what are the options you have if you are studying with special needs or disability. If that is the case, you can do that thing and scan this, and then you will be directed to the page of the university where there is a lot of information. So please, if that's a topic that you have a particular interest in, read this and feel very, very welcome to send an email afterwards, and then we could already maybe have a first meeting to discuss your situation in particular. Okay, and the email will be at the end of this presentation, so you can take note and we can talk. What else? Well, yeah, this is as I represented us. I don't know why two of them are blurry. No, that's mostly because Gina, Eva, and I, Sonia, our main chunk of work at UCG is being academic advisors. This means that from the very first day when you arrive at UCG, even from before you arrive at UCG, you will receive information regarding who is your academic advisor. So and you will always have one particular academic advisor assigned to you throughout the 3 years, which is really good, we consider, because that gives us the opportunity to really develop a relationship in those 3 years. Of course, there is always other study advisors or academic advisors around that you can talk to. So, there's always someone available. But in general, the fact that you have one particular academic advisor assigned, that develops a nice relationship in 3 years. And I think a lot of students are very happy about that. So mostly, very probably, it will be either Gina, Eva, or myself, but also be Jaclyn.
Yeah, so Diana and I are blurred, but it's also, we do other functions primarily, but we also do academic advising for a smaller group of students. So it could be that next year, if one of you choose to come to UCG, that I can also potentially be your academic advisor. And of course, we do have situations where if a student has more of a conversation or a bond with another academic advisor other than the one that you're assigned to, it is possible that we can reassign you. Sometimes it just goes off of common backgrounds or just easier to discuss. So
exactly. What else? Oh, so here, yeah, just to offer you a bit more of a visual of the different factors that comprise guidance at UCG. So academic guidance is what I was talking about, and personal support. So they kind of like fit each other. We also have student mentoring. So that's an extra layer of guidance to make sure that you are really well taken care of. The same moment you are assigned an academic advisor, before you start, you are also placed into a mentor group. During the first semester at UCG, you will have your own mentor group. It's a group of around 10 students, all first-year students, and you all together will have one mentor assigned. And that mentor will be a UCG student. It's usually a second or a third-year student, so they are familiar with UCG, and they are able to support you in so many instances. So not just academically, but also socially. So that's also an extra layer that usually students value very much. You can discuss with your mentor regularly so many aspects about courses, but also what's going on in your common living space, etc., etc. And what's nice is that also you get to know other first-year students who are not in your courses and who are not maybe in your same unit living together. So it also opens another door for to socialize and get to know more students. Just for me to present some of our mentors this year. So this is Luca, he's a second-year student, and we have Thames here as well. They are all starting different courses at UCG, so sometimes it's also very interesting to really ask questions to your mentor and understand what courses he or she have been taking, and then talk to another mentor, and then you see how they have been working on really building up their path, and very interesting conversations arising there. We have more mentors, but just so you can get to see their faces for a moment. Okay, so you guys have questions up to this point. There's anything that you would like me to maybe describe a little bit with a little bit more detail?
I saw there was one hand raised.
Oh, super.
So I'm not sure if anyone has a question. I know sometimes you guys don't like to talk on these things, so you can always drop it in the chat. But we'll also have a question thing at the end. But then if not, we can just continue.
Yeah, everything clear from that point? Is there something maybe that some type of guidance that you have been receiving during your high school that you think it's very valuable and that you would like to find at UCG as well? Anything comes to mind to any one of you? That's a tricky question, maybe.
No, but I think what kind of makes UCG a bit different than other faculties under the University of Groningen is that the whole personal approach. So it's not just from us, but also the whole idea of mentors is that so you really have that peer connection. They were also first-year students at one point, and them having gone through all the years can kind of give you advice, and then you're also mixing with other students with our international community that are also in the same boat of you of everything being new. So, whether you're from the Netherlands as well, it's also just a whole new experience coming to university.
Yeah, it's a very intercultural and multicultural environment, and that comes with a lot of things. So it's really, yeah.
Our team is also multicultural, so.
Very much.
Okay.
All right, let's continue then.
Okay, wait.
At my school, we have alumni speaker panels, which have been really helpful. Yeah. I do hear you, and that really helps me to move on to the next point. So we do have some alumni speakers coming at UCG. I do agree that that's super valuable information for students. And you can see here that we have a career services section. We have a career services that belongs to the whole university, and they offer a lot of services for all students. But on top of that, at UCG, we try to pay particularly attention to careers. And here I go. We actually use alumni. It's not that we use alumni, but we invite alumni to come and explain what their journeys have been, or do like big keynote speakers for particular topics, etc., especially for point 2. So this is a circle that we try to work a lot with our students. So we try to provide you a space and the tools so you can get to know yourself. And once you know yourself, so you can get to know the labor market. And here is where we try to, invite a lot of alumni so they can also explain what it is that they have been doing outside UCG with the knowledge they got here. And so current students can really have a good perspective of what is out there. So once you know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what it is that you are good at, then we try to offer you a lot of insight of what's out there, so try to see where's the match and where you would fit more comfortably. And once that match have somehow been made, and it's always under development, right? But we try you to start doing that. Then we give you the tools and we provide you with a workshop so you can develop those skills that would actually allow you to get the job. Point 4, in that labor market that we have explored together. And alumni is very much embedded into the circle, but I would say especially in point 2, which I do agree it's very, very important. That's where we link them at UCG. So thanks for that question. A little bit more about how we offer our UCG students a complete approach to employability. We always, and that's not just when I say we, it's also our teachers and our program, we try to emphasize a lot what are the skills that you are gaining being a liberal arts and sciences student, not just the hard skills, so not just the technical skills that you might be gaining in the major you are doing or in the courses you are taking, but also all those soft skills that you will be gaining throughout several courses here. So doing your project, doing your thesis, there are a lot of soft skills that comes very handy when it comes to being employable, and that are not that common in so many other bachelor programs. So it's something that really makes our students stand. So it's very important for us that you realize that and that you are able to explain that later on to your future potential employees. We also offer you a map of what are the most relevant skills for the careers, the present, the current careers, and the ones to be developed in the future, so you are ready for that when it comes. And we offer you the tools to identify your strengths and your weaknesses, so you know more about yourself, so you can perform better. And we try to help you putting all that information in your employability tools, being CV, LinkedIn applications, etc., etc., etc. For being able to provide you all that, we organize workshops and trainings. We have a career day every year here at UCG. We are networking events with alumni, so you can not just get to understand what it is that they're doing, but also, very important, network with them. We offer career advice sessions, and there are 2 important points here that we're going to talk a little bit more. We offer a curricular internship, and we offer the possibility of studying abroad. And both options will really help you delve into those soft skills I was talking about. So that's why we are offering a little bit more on those notes. Yeah. So you can see here, this is a bit of a graphic of how the liberal arts and sciences bachelor program is divided. we have an academic course section. You're going to be taking several courses here, some of them in your first year, but also some of them in your second and your third year. And all the students have to take those courses. Then you have your major section. This is where the big chunk of your major elective, so course content, will take place. But you have a minor section of 30 credits. The minor takes place in the third year, the first semester. And that might seem very far away right now, and you're completely right. But it's good for you to know that the minor section, so in 3 years, you would be able to either do an internship or study abroad, among other options. You have other options as well, but those two, I do think they are important for you to know, so you can, on the back of your head, start, dream and making plans. A curricular internship. A curricular internship gives you an opportunity to link with all those, that circle I was talking about. So in an internship, you leave the academic setting for a while and you enter the job market. It could be a company, it could be an organization, it could be public, it could be private, it could be a startup, it could be, you have many options there. But no matter what you do, you're gonna get a lot of feedback of how you behave and what are all your potentialities and your strengths outside. So you will get to know yourself. You will get to understand what's out there for you to do once you finish your program. You will gain some new skills. You will polish some skills that you already have. And very importantly as well, that will somehow stand out in your master applications afterwards. You might be able to travel doing an internship as well. You might be able to make some money, but for sure, you will be able to network and gain some very important contacts. This is what some of our students have done or are doing. Many other places as well, but just to give you an example, so the OECD, Google UCG, which is part of it's the hospital of the university, international public organizations, many options. And we always tell our students, aim high, because an internship in a recognized organization, it's super valuable. And the program gives you that option. So that's a really nice thing. Another way to gain some very valuable skills, it's studying abroad. And that's what Jaclyn will be talking a little bit more. Maybe you can go and then we wrap up with questions if you have questions.
So just going off of what Sonia said to begin is that most of our students, there are a couple different minor options you can do. And of course, we're kind of throwing an overview and a lot of options at you, which is sort of the core of an LAS program, is that if you don't have a specific niche that you want to go into, we offer options. But the most important thing is that we structure those options along the way so that when it comes time to whether you're going to choose to do an internship or study abroad, we already start this when you're here in your first year a little bit and then your second year, because you will go in the first semester of your third year. So the second year will be when you are preparing to decide which option you want to go with. And most students, if they want to get more of the labor market experience, go with an internship. Because when you study abroad, there are stipulations depending on where you go and your visa if you're able to work. And you can always combine an internship with an exchange option. It would just be that basically an internship is 30 credits. So you would do half of that with an internship and half with enough classes on your exchange to meet that requirement. But basically, in a nutshell, we have a couple of options with exchange where the two distinctions are you can either go non-EU or within the European Union. And we also have direct partners and a multi-faculty exchange, which sort of opens the door to if you are considering something in Asia, Oceania, or Canada, for example. Let's see. Okay, so basically what I already said, it's a semester abroad in your third year. Sorry, I just saw a question from you again. We will get to that in a moment. So what's nice about your exchange is that, let's say at UCG, given the options of we have a mix of humanities, social sciences, and science courses, what is nice about your exchange is that you are not really limited by what courses you can do. Certain programs will have specializations for our students. So that is why students will focus on certain programs if they offer what they're really interested in. But a lot of our programs offer students to do whatever they want. So you could choose to make your exchange as specific as possible. Like we have some programs that really focuses on the sciences, for example. So if you start to dabble then that in UCG and you want to look at that as for your master's or in the future for your career, you could choose an exchange program and make all of your courses science focused. Or alternatively, you can mix and match it. So we do have students that will take courses in astronomy next to film theater, next to biology, or these types of things. So typically students will take, depending on where they go in the world, about 5 courses. As some of you might know from US, it is a bit of a different curricular program here. We have 2 blocks per semester. So typically in US, you would take courses for the whole semester. But at UCG, we have like shorter academic periods. So that's also to keep in mind and what we will get to when you start looking at your exchange, how you want to do that. So typically, but it's also for you to deepen your knowledge in a field that is relative to whatever major you choose to major in or your interest. But it's also if you have a beginning interest in something and maybe you want to explore that as a master's program, for you to kind of test out waters in something that we might only offer at the surface level here, or that you see in a program that would allow you to do that, such as sustainability programs that we offer in New Zealand. You will also get international experience and also intercultural awareness, which I think you'll already develop at UCG because compared to most other faculties, we have quite a diverse student body. And of course, there's the academic component, but we do want you to have fun and get to know another country and culture. The requirements for exchange are not that complicated. It's just that you have to, at the time of application, be on track with your academic curriculum of what you've completed. So typically your first year. Be in good academic standing because we don't want to cause a study delay. And relative to the program, if there's any prerequisites such as a language requirement or something. Most of our programs are in English, but we do have partners in Japan, for example, or in Germany, or in Valencia in Spain that do require certain language requirements to take those courses. To prepare you for exchange and kind of do this, we do start a first information session in the spring of your first year. And then again in the fall of your second year, because during your second year, you will be applying for which program you want to go to. And the selection process is based on your grade point average and a motivation letter. And we have an international board at UCG that decides the allocation of students to programs. So all of this will be explained in due time, but just for your minor, if you're looking at something, maybe not going right into work after your bachelor's and you want to pursue a master's, this kind of gives you an idea to look at other courses with partners that can deepen your knowledge or just explore something new. So just to kind of give you a quick example, direct partners that we have, our biggest partner, ironically enough, is in the US with Arizona State University. But we also have partners in Vienna, Kyushu in Tokyo in Japan, Freiburg in Germany, Tapar in India, etc. That's not the complete list. And multi-faculty exchange, I'll just explain what that is quickly, is that every year, all faculties across the University of Groningen get allocated certain programs, so they change. But the past couple of years, we've had Kyoto, we've had Taiwan, we've had Australia National University, Melbourne, Sydney, New Zealand. And then just, you know, there's a separate Canadian Studies program. There's the Erasmus Plus ICM program, Coimbra Exchange. So there's sort of a lot of these options. And of course, it can be overwhelming, but that's the whole point with workshops. And we have one-on-one meetings so that I can see what your interest is to kind of show you which programs would best fit you. But also, of course, taking into account your financial background in consideration. Because, of course, these programs, as much as they vary in curriculum, will vary in price. But basically, the good thing is whatever tuition you would pay here, you don't have to pay tuition there. So your tuition here would cover your tuition at the program, which could be nice because programs in Canada or US, for example, have a much higher tuition cost for one semester than UCG does. So that's sort of in a nutshell. Didn't want to overwhelm you guys with information, but we have one question already. But in the meantime, if you guys want to drop something in the chat or something that comes up about exchange, internships, or the program,
Maybe
let us know.
I can try to
Yes.
answer that one. So from our third year cohort, and that varies per year, but I would say probably 40% of our students go on exchange,
Yeah,
and maybe 20% do an internship, something like that. And the other 40%, they either stay in the university and take courses here, or they also go to other universities in the months where they can also take courses without paying extra tuition fee. So that's also another option that we haven't explained, but that it's also there.
and also just to kind of financially help with an internship or an exchange. Under the University of Groningen, students are applicable for an Erasmus or a Marco Polo grant to help you finance that. So, and then of course there are other scholarship opportunities, but I just think overall what we're here for, whether it's like from a financial support or other support, and sort of the point of view having an allocated academic advisor is to build a relationship and get to understand you so that whatever you're looking at or considering, we can look at that together.
Exactly. You don't need the opportunities, so we can help you there. What else? Any other questions for us? Things you might be curious about?
Silence. No, it's a lot of information, so.
I said that the emails would be here, but they are not. So I lied to you. But you guys feel free to, let me go there. Here. You can email us any questions you have, academicadvisor.ucg.nl. It's not strange to for students, especially if there are special circumstances involved, extraordinary circumstances, etc. You can already make an appointment with us before starting at UCG. So we can already point out some resources and kind of like point towards what's available to you, so you can start all those processes. But also, if you want to discuss career matters, etc., you can always contact us. Does UCG students support for summer internships? Not curricularly. You could actually use part of your summer for a curricular internship, but that has to be paired to the academic year. So your internship should at least last for part of the first block, so September and October, not curricularly. The RA, the university, does have a dashboard where there are a lot of offers, and you can always have one of those career advice sessions, or 2 or 3, and then discuss your options for summer internships. But then that would be extracurricular. It won't be curricular. Also, because summer internships tend to be shorter, and the curricular internship we were talking about is a longer internship of top 5.2, so 5 months and a half. Which will give you a better opportunity to really get to understand an organization and be able to make a valuable contribution. But there are options for summer internships around if that's what you are interested as well.
Also, the same with exchange is that if a semester is too long, whether financially too much out of your comfort zone, there are summer and winter programs as well that will run for anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. So just a lot of options, but in a structured way. So, and that's why getting to know you helps us. And if you have questions, so that we can point you in the right direction.
What else? Iris, maybe you have a question for us?
Questions, don't I? Let's see. Well, this is maybe a bit of a more of a personal question for you guys, but like if you could go on exchange, this one's maybe for Jaclyn. Sorry, Sonia. Which one of the partners would you like to?
Well, interesting. I had a conversation with a student from US, or not US, sorry, a Dutch student today that wants to study in US. And I thought, interesting. Because, you know, I'm American, so I don't really like look at it the same way. And then how she was talking about American culture and American holidays and just, it's very interesting. And is America like the movies? And I thought, okay, this is very interesting because I have the same feeling when I moved to the Netherlands of like, wow, everything is new. But I think for a partner, I would probably go to a partner in Tokyo, only because I'm a bit biased. I like Japan. But with MFE, probably would explore New Zealand because they have a really nice sustainability program. And I think I'm more climate oriented. Where would you go?
I think I would go to Freiburg.
Okay.
It's not far. It's not far. But I don't know. I think it's a similar program than the one we have here, but they have different type of courses that really complement well what we offer here. So in a sense, you could combine both and really at the end of your bachelor program have acquainted a fantastic list of courses from several fields and still, feeling very, very complete in many fronts. Or maybe Australia. That could also be.
There's so many options, basically. There's so many.
Where would you go? Where would you go, Iris?
Well, I've known Victoria, who went to Yonsei University in South Korea, and she was really pleased with that. And I think she even wrote a couple of blogs for us back then. So I'm biased, but I think that will be a wonderful opportunity to explore that side of the world. There's so many options. I do have another question though, and this is more like a generic type of question, and that would be like if you had to give one little piece of advice to students, to aspiring students, so whether or not they're going to be arriving at UCG, but like people who need to move to a different country, maybe a different city within the same country, what will be your advice?
Learn Dutch. No, kidding. No, you can get that's so I don't know if anyone has language concerns. Of Nederlands, maar you can get around the Netherlands quite easily with English.
I don't speak Netherlands, and I've been here quite a while.
But it's also I don't know. I know like in Spain and in Italy, it's much more difficult to maybe just rely on English. And I think it's always great to try to learn, even if you go on exchange for 4 months, to learn that language. It just opens the door so much culturally. But you can get around quite easily in the Netherlands for learning. And then also we offer language courses if you are interested in picking up Dutch while you're here. But I think just a general piece of advice, regardless of, obviously you're looking at UCG and everything, is just really think about what you want to study. And I think a lot of our students, the question I ask them of my first years that I am advising is sort of what brought you to UCG. And the most common response was just they might not know what they want to do. And that UCG sort of offers allow them to explore a bit of that before making a major decision. And then through an internship or an exchange, you can either you can complement it or have the opportunity to also explore something different, because maybe what you want to do now can change in a year or two. So I think for me, it's look at something of, even if flexibility is your thing, UCG could be nice, but also if you want something more structured, I mean, I know we've thrown a lot of options and information at you, but it's not like you come into a pool and you have no support or something. So I think it's just a nice balance of allowing students to be flexible, but also structuring their future for them.
I would say do that, but one step at a time.
Yeah.
No panic, no rush, no stress. It's always good, and we're here for whatever you need. So one step at a time, and it's going to be fine.
I love that. I like it too. I think, and I think this is a beautiful way to end the final session of Digital UCG. Sonia and Jaclyn, ladies, thank you so much for hosting this session. I think it was a really great session full of useful information. And yeah, I hope to all the participants, I've seen so many people join repeatedly, which I absolutely love to see. And hopefully, who knows, maybe we'll see you next year at UCG. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always ask the academic advisors at UCG about the program. But if you have any questions about our admissions program, admissions process, I'm so sorry, then please feel free to send an email to this email address. And then either I or Marika will answer your question as soon as possible. Now, of course, the Christmas break is coming up, so it might be that there will be a slight delay in our messaging during the Christmas break, but we nonetheless try to get back to you as soon as possible. Then I will say goodbye, and hopefully you all have a lovely evening and a lovely end of this year because it's so close already. And thank you. Thank you all. Take care. Bye.
Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.